What's happening, everybody? What is going on tonight, Thursday night on the grind? Oh, man. Sorry, I got to look up something. All right. So, what's happening, everybody? I am a couple minutes early, 1 or 2 minutes early, but I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Got a lot of stuff going on. What's up, Uncle Bruno? What's up, Miss Marcia? How you doing? Let a couple people get on here real quick, and then I'm gonna get through my. Jeez, man, I keep getting these notifications. I don't want to get the notification. What's up, Rich? Goodness sakes. Thunder Road Magazine of Indiana and Illinois. Man, I'm getting notifications already. Look at all these notifications. Anyway, let's get started with our show and let's go on and go to our first sponsor, J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. You guys know him, Gary Dubois. J&D Custom Polishing and Plating does chroming, nickel, copper, silver, 24 karat gold. They do the dent removal, straightening, and polishing of stainless steel and aluminum trim, the zinc die cast, which is pot metal repair or restoration, is their specialty. Over 60 years of experience in the custom polishing and plating world, committed to quality and service from start to finish, award winning workmanship. You guys know everybody uses them. Y'all should be using them too. When you go to J&D Custom Polishing and Plating, you let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, God dang it, I didn't want to hit that button. I hit this button. Urban Rides. Urban Rides magazine is one of the largest national print magazines catering to all aspects of the custom motorcycle industry with monthly digital of both Urban Rides and its counterpart Street Bagger magazine. Urban Rides magazine also does quarterly print issues with best articles from both magazines, and you can get your free digital or order your print copies at urbanridesmagazine.com. Got to get over there. Got to go check them out. Let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Stellar Customs. Stellar Customs, some of the most badass, real, true carbon fiber windshields you're ever going to get for your touring model bikes. You got to go check them out at Urban Rides, not Urban Rides, at stellarcustoms.com, or hit them up on Facebook at Stellar Customs on Facebook. But whatever you do, let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine, Marshall Fitzpatrick. Y'all know her. Go get you a magazine. Go check them out. Go online to Indiana Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine on Facebook or hit up Marsha. She'll get you hooked up with them. But whatever you do, let them know that Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, my good buddy Earl Hopkins at Hopkins Design. As you can see, he does web, print, branding, video, hosting. He does drone footage. He can make videos. He can do logo designs. He can do everything you possibly want for your company. Reach out to him at hopkinsdesign.com, or you can get him on Facebook at Earl Hopkins on Facebook. Next up, American Drag Seats. AmericanDragSeats.com. American Drag Seats / Attitude Inc. on Facebook. We do some of the best motorcycle seats in the country. Anything from leather tooling, custom pans, custom foam, reshaping stock seats, whatever you need done, American Drag Seats can do it. If you can sit on it, we can do it. Anyway, reach out to us at AmericanDragSeats.com, or you can reach out right here to the grind to get a hold of me. Whatever you do, tell me I sent you. Next up, Hell's Speed Shop, hellspeedshop.com. I am wearing the new Daredevil right here. I've got the short sleeve. I freaking love this shirt. This shirt is so awesome. You gotta let me see if I can get it right here. Hails. It's got these awesome buttons on it. The buttons seem like they're not a big deal, but in the overall shirt, the buttons are badass. I've got mine. You need to get yours. Go to hellspeedshop.com, look for the grind logo, and save yourself 10%. Plus, it lets them know that this advertising is actually working for them. Awesome company, awesome people. Saw us a couple weeks back. We interviewed them, Nathan and Jenna Hell. Great people. Get over to hellspeedshop.com and get you some swag. Last but not least, the fledgling company, Legacy Bike Works, right here in Manville, Texas. Devin Sockwell, the owner, he's working his ass off doing stuff, trying to get customers to go in a little bit further customization range with their bikes, a little bit at a time, doing what we can do. We do have something coming. It may be 6 months to a year from now, but we're entrusting the paint will be from Sinners and Saints Custom Paint, Brian Barber. All this fabrication and stuff Devin is doing himself. I'm pushing this kid to become what I consider one of the most creative and best well-rounded bike builders in the country. I'm saying that. You're hearing me say it. It is what it is. We're not saying we're building a killer. We're changing the industry. No, we're not going to say that. What we're going to say is we're going to build something that we can stand behind, and hopefully you guys will love it as much as we love building it. Anyway, so here we are tonight. Another Thursday night. Let me see. I've given the shout outs Uncle Bruno, Marsha, Rich Cozy, Robert. I don't know how to say his last name, Fos or Fosi or Foose. I'm not 100% sure, but thank you for watching. Mr. Kevin Baird, what's up, my brother from another mother? Mr. Luis Rodriguez is in the house. William Cole, Patrick Price, Logan Black, yo. Anyway, so tonight's show, literally, I'm going in a different direction. Typically, my shows are just me ranting and raving and blah, 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 blah for an hour. They get kind of boring. I'm going to quit guaranteeing an hour. What I am going to do is I'm going to start going, and I have a topic that I want to talk about tonight. I'm going to get through the topic, and that's going to be the show. Don't know if it's going to increase viewership or if it's going to help it decline, but I need to get a little more focused on what I'm talking about, the topics that I'm bringing up. And let me be real clear with everybody right here, right now. It's been brought to my attention that there's some stuff I talk about that I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. One of those topics is audio. Let me explain to everybody. I used to do audio back in the early 2000s. I did all audio all through high school. The game has changed. Everything is different now. With the brands, everything's changing. The amps are getting smaller. You have DSP, which stands for digital sound processors. You've got all these cool things going on in the audio industry. And this stuff's not just for bikes. I'm talking about cars. I mean, they have so many things changing and growing so fast. Even the best out there will tell you they don't know everything. So when I ramble to you, it is part opinion, and some of it is knowledge based. And if I had to build a bike to compete with, I can guarantee you me and Devin would build a bike and we would compete with anybody across the country. It still doesn't mean we know everything, but we are allowed to have opinions about it. We are allowed to, get invested in what we're doing and how we're doing it. But there's one thing you cannot purchase, and that is time. The more time you put into doing something, the better you get at it. We all have a starting point, and I don't think we ever stop learning, ever. You never stop learning. So you can never claim to be the best. Your work has to speak for itself. Your workmanship, the way you do things. And you know what? I'll tell you right now, we're building my bike. We're tearing it completely down, fucking redoing the whole thing. Insane Asylum, Logan Black, Brian Barber, myself, my son. We are going to be doing some stuff with this bike that I've not yet seen, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. We are not the innovators of it, but we are definitely going to be building something that we, like I said, we can stand behind. But here's what I wanted to talk about a minute ago. So what I wanted to talk about a minute ago is when you get into the industry, whether it's bike building, whether it's metal fabrication, whether it's painting, upholstery, cars, trucks, vans, boats, it doesn't matter what you get into. You are going to have shit customers. It's going to happen. You start out with the best intentions. You try to say everything correctly. You try to reassure them that they're at the right shop to get it done correctly. Because if you tell people the blatant truth, it's going to piss them off and push them away. Now let me defend what I'm saying here before everybody gets upset and starts throwing comments. If a customer comes into my shop and tells me, hey man, I want a 6-speaker bike and I want it to be the baddest MF in the whole country and blah, 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 blah. And then you tell them you ask them what their budget is and they instantly start trying to negotiate with you, you should sever it right there. It should be over with right there. In my opinion, if a customer comes in saying they want a certain level of quality, whether it's audio, painting, upholstery, blah, 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 blah. And the second thing out of their mouth is they're trying to get you to negotiate your price. That right there is not a customer you want. Now, I have upholstery shops. I have stereo shops. I mean, for fuck's sake, we're in Houston, Texas. We have a variable plethora of everybody here. So I'm not the only bike builder. We're not going to be the only bike builder. There are other bike builders out there that definitely will do it for cheaper. There are different upholstery shops out there that'll do it for cheaper. There are other painters out there that will do it for cheaper. There are stereo equipment companies out there that will have a lower budget price stuff. But remember this, when a customer comes to you and they're saying, man, I've heard nothing but good things about you. I want to use you. And then the second thing out of their mouth is they want to fucking negotiate your prices. You don't have to be a dick, but you do have to stand your ground. Because things are going to happen when you start working on a bike. It's happened to us. You quote a customer a price, you get working on their bike, and all of a sudden you run up to a roadblock of something you've never seen before. I don't understand why this doesn't work. I don't understand. This is made to work here. People, when you get into the custom world, I don't give a fuck what custom it is. It can be custom countertops. It can be custom clothing. It can be custom stereos, bikes, paint. It doesn't matter. When you get into the custom world, you instantly throw away the rule books. You instantly throw away the wiring diagrams. You instantly throw everything out the window, and you explain to your customers, hey, look, when you go to custom, things happen. When those things happen, which they damn sure will, and they will do it every single time you come across it, you either have to call the customer and tell the customer, hey, look, this popped up, we're going to need more money. Or you have to say, you know what? The customer didn't know about it. I had no idea this was going to happen. I'm going to have to eat it. Now, as a business owner myself, having done motorcycle seats for the last 25 years, I've done both. I've literally called customers and said, hey, look, I underquoted this. X, Y, and Z has happened. I'm going to need more money to make this happen. When you tell them that, you're going to get a response. It may be in your favor. It may be against you. If it's against you, if you want to keep the customer, you're going to have to say, okay, well, I'm going to go on and eat it just to make you happy. I've done that so many times. And the funny thing about when you do that is typically those customers end up fucking treating you like shit. They just do. I don't know why. And you can do your best to stay calm. But I've literally told customers, hey, look, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. I can't be your guy because I'm not flawless. I'm never going to be flawless. But what I am going to be is honest. I'm going to do my best to make you happy. I'm going to stay in contact with you. My customer service is what you're paying for. Now, once you get to a certain level that whatever it is you do, you get a little more confidence. Once you get that confidence behind you, you've seen a lot of these gray areas that pop up. You've seen them. So you know, okay, if I'm going to do a 26 bolt-on kit or a 30-inch bolt-on American suspension neck kit on a stock road glide, and he's going to put a 30-inch front wheel on it, you better quote them new brake lines. You better quote them, because if you don't quote them, those factory brake lines are not going to line back up, not going to bolt back in place, and they're going to look like junk. Now, how many of you guys actually can admit, well, shit, I sold it to the customer and I didn't realize that was going to happen, and then it bit you in the ass? How many can actually say, yeah, that's one of them learning curves, I screwed the pooch on that one. I didn't know. Nobody tells you that. Nobody's going to tell you, oh, by the way, when you do this, that's going to be a problem. You need to take care of it. Well, hey, guess what, people? I'm here tonight to tell you that. I'm going to tell you, if you do a 26-inch and up bolt-on neck kit to a stock bike, you better quote the price to replace the brake lines, because those pre-made steel brake lines that go under the triple trees on a stock bike, they do not work on a rake kit. They don't, especially the bolt-on kits. So if they're going to swap over to a single side rotor, you're going to quote that anyway. But guess what? Now that you've quoted that, did you quote them, hey, look, we're going to have to go to Harley? Or for some of the better shops, they actually have the handheld monitors where you can plug into the bike and you can bleed the front brakes with the ABS systems. If you don't have those tools, it's not bad. If you don't have that knowledge, it's not bad. But you better have the friends and the network behind you that when you quote stuff like that, you've got good friends that aren't going to pick on you, make fun of you. They're going to tell you, hey, look, man, I ran into this problem before. When you do that, make sure you do this with it. Those are little hidden things that will bite you in your ass and make you look like you're a novice and make you look like you don't know what you're talking about. And then all of a sudden the customers gets pissed and blah, 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 blah. I'm trying desperately, people, and I'm telling you guys this as a man, 50, almost 54 years old, there is so much to learn and so much to do. And I don't think you're ever going to learn it all. You got to get a good team behind you. You got to get friends in this industry, people that, make the body kits, people that do the motor work, people that do the frames and the welding. You got to get good painters behind you. You got to get good seat guys behind you. You got to get the people behind you so that when you quote these bike builds, you can rely on your team, man. And it doesn't make you any less capable than anybody else like us. I feel bad because I give you that scenario about the brake line because I did it. We did it. We found out the hard way. We found out so hard. You got to replace those brake lines. Well, thank God our customer was cool enough that once he took off and he realized what was going on, he said, hey, man, these brake lines look like shit. Y'all didn't bolt them up correctly. That's when we had to tell him, hey, look, we should have quoted you new front brake lines because when you do a bolt-on kit, it throws everything out differently. So you're going to need a new brake line kit. Those factory brake lines no longer work. They will work, but they're just going to be hanging and dangling and shit. So my whole point is that if you have a group of friends around you that have been building for a long time, hold on to them, man. You need those good people. And the cool thing about that is when you get a good group of people that you associate with, you're gonna find out, man, they are gonna be your saviors on a lot of these jobs. And the more you talk to them and the more you interact and you discuss what you're building and what you're going through on a daily basis, man, you bounce ideas off of each other. Like me, the one thing I really love talking about, and I can't force it down everybody's throats because people don't listen, but some do. I love talking business. You want to sit down and go over your checks and minuses and your balances and what you got to do here, what you got to do. Man, I will talk your fucking ear off when it comes to business. I don't care what the business is, from rock and roll bands to maid cleaning services. I can tell you how to run a business. Okay, I can consult you in that. When it comes to painting, and I see Keith Barker is running his mouth on here tonight, doing a kick-ass job. Keith Barker is a great person to use as an example, because I tell you, him and Mary Beth, it's like they have a goal, man. They want to get better and better and better and better. And I mean, I saw their first original paint jobs they started doing, and everybody has a starting point. And I didn't really like them, but I didn't see the paint jobs up close, put my hands on them. So they, even though I may not like the paint job, it may have been a good quality job. But if you see some of the stuff they're doing now, they're getting out of that comfort zone. They're getting out of that box, and they're trying to do other stuff to get their paint game on point. Now, I guarantee you, Keith didn't just say, hey, I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and buy me a paint gun and ba-ba-dee-dee-ba, and I'm going to become a painter. I guarantee he made phone calls. I guarantee he talked to people. I guarantee you he actually took the time to do a little bit of research before he jumped off into it. What's up, Robert? What's up, C. Ruger? Mr. Keith Barker, I didn't say hi to you, but what's up, Sam Bass, Nancy Ween? There is no way in hell you can price every single part in every bike. It's impossible to make sure every single part is on an estimate. Amen. Very true to that. Fuck ABS. I remove that shit on every bike, period, if it gets a wheel 26 or bigger. See, I get that, Keith. I totally get it. But when your customer says they don't want you to remove it, they want that. Man, you got to learn to work around those issues, which is why I say no disrespect to anybody tonight. I'm not here to hate on people. You can call me and I will talk business with you. I will discuss the metal fabrication that I'm capable of doing. I will talk about the Rattle Can Mafia. I will do whatever I can to be your friend and discuss things to help you with your business. I wish more people were like that. But at the end of the day, you basically have to take the time, and like I'm sitting here telling everybody, is you got to build up people. You got to get the people behind you, because I'll tell you right now, I can't tell you how many times I've done a motorcycle seat. Customers in, like Florida. I used to have a big, huge group of customers in Florida back in the mid 2000s, late 2000s. These guys were building all metal seat pans, awesome seats. Well, back, in 2012 to current, they started doing a lot of fiberglass seat pans. And they always ask me, well, what do I got to do? All the seat guys that I knew of at that time would not tell a customer how to make a seat pan. I can only think that it was because they were insecure, thinking if I teach him how to make a seat pan, he'll just take it to somebody else. Excuse me. But the real thing is that if I teach somebody how to make a seat pan and they're out of state, even if it is a 50-50 gamble that they send it to me, man, who cares? I'm not doing this and being helpful, in a selfish manner. I'm doing it so that people can learn, hey, look, what happens if this guy is, any bit like me? He builds a seat pan. He's like, oh shit, that was pretty cool. Man, what else can I build? What else can I try to do? And then all of a sudden, this guy, before you know it, has a knack, and he starts building seat pans for all his buddies. And then he sends everything to me. I get all of his seat jobs. Man, that's a good union. That's a good thing going on together. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you how to build houses and sell them. Amen. And if I was going to get a house built, don't think for a second I wouldn't be calling Uncle Bruno. I would be. I would want that information. But anyway, my whole point behind the show tonight is that you're crazy if you think any of these big builders or medium-sized builders, you're crazy if you think these guys just opened the gates and came running and they just know everything. You have to get people behind you that have answers to questions that you may not know how to do. Doesn't mean you're bad, doesn't mean you're dumb, doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you don't know that yet. And if you're like me, I will figure it out. I will figure it the fuck out. The reason I'm going to figure it out is because I like to know how things work. I currently do not build motors. I don't have the want to build motors. I have people that can build me motors, people that I trust to build motors, people that have done it for 20 plus, 30 plus years. But I'm going to build a motor, but I'm not going to build a motor so that I can be a motor shop. I'm going to build a motor because I want the knowledge for myself. if I can take and pass on any information to anybody of things that I might know, I'm going to do it without putting you down, without picking on you, without making fun of you. I'm just not going to, I'm not that guy. From painters to other seat guys to powder coaters to, there's so many people out there that I've talked with and, you know, spent time with and gotten to know over I mean, realistically, people since 1997. You know, I have literally taught myself how to be a businessman. I've taught myself what to do, what not to do. And I promise you, every good education I've gotten, every good lesson I've learned is because I did it wrong. I did it the exact opposite way you're supposed to. You know, and if everybody remembers back in the beginning of 2018 when I started this shit show, I told you guys that when I put the stereo system in the blue bagger that I built, I used wire nuts, you know, for like electrical because I didn't know any other way to do it. And I literally have gotten so beat up and made fun of over doing that because people are like, dude, you're an idiot. Why would you use wire nuts? And I was like, dude, why would you not? I mean, I didn't know any other way to do it. But as time progressed, people found out, people talked to me, people told me they have plugs that you can buy, you know, 2-wire plugs, 3-wire plugs, 4-wire plugs, so on, so forth, so on. And you can put, you know, make these plugs, these, you know, from little bitty plugs all the way up to these big monster plugs that hold a lot of stuff. Quick disconnects. Well, if you've ever messed with those plugs, there's nothing fucking quick about them. You know, you got to be careful with them when you're yanking and tearing them apart. You just do. And if anybody says you don't have to, they're lying to you. I know you do because we use them all the time now. My point is that when you don't know, you at least make the effort to try. There's a guy on Facebook that I've been watching. I don't know his name, but he's building bicycles. And I don't know where this guy is from. And if I told you he was from anywhere, I'd be lying to you. But he's a Hispanic guy. I'm going to guess in his 20s or early 30s. And he literally is building bicycles, you know, with gas tanks and with, you know, motorcycle wheels or at least off-road bicycle wheels and stuff. And they're pretty cool looking. Is his welding the best? You know, is he that, you know, $60 an hour welder? Hell no, he's not. But what he is good at is creativity, and he's making things, and he has these little short reels where he puts them together, and he has quite a few followers. But he builds bicycles, and you never get to see straight down the nose of the bicycle to see if everything is symmetrical and perfectly straight. But who cares if it's perfectly symmetrical or perfectly straight? The guy is making an effort on a daily basis. He's doing stuff that I bet a lot of these bike builders wish they could do, which is build bicycles. I mean, think about the game. Think if you take some of these bigger named builders, and I won't say anybody's name because I don't want to, you know, push anybody in a direction, but say you get someone big that's known for building good motorcycles, and these guys spin off and say, you know what, I want to build a couple custom bicycles. I guarantee you their names just from the bicycle, they'd sell bicycles, you know, and those are, I mean, bicycles are becoming a thing again, man. And especially these customs, like the guy on Instagram, J-Rat. I don't know if anybody follows him, but it's JRAT. And that dude builds some amazing stand-up scooter tile styled bicycles. But they're really cool, really innovative. The design, the concept, everything he does is really badass. But anyway, just think about it. Just think about the biggest builders. Let's say Eric Contreras here in Houston. The dude has such a huge following, and he's made such a name for himself in the motorcycle industry. If he started building bicycles, I guarantee you people would buy his bicycles simply because I know they'd be unique, they'd be cool, and people would pay for them. You know, these guys building these bicycles are charging anywhere from $1,500 to, I think I called that J-Rat guy, and I could pick up one of his bicycles for $3,500, $4,000. But it's a bicycle, but it's so cool and unique nobody else is going to have a bicycle like that. Anyway, my whole point is you take the Hispanic guy that's doing them, in a little shop, not the best welder, not the best at anything he does, but he's out there every day making bicycles, and he's making really cool stuff that is functional and it's cool, but it's the fact that he's doing it. He's doing them live on these reels so you can see what he's doing and how he's doing it. But some people may give him a whole shit ton of crap because he doesn't have all the professional tools. His welding is not that good. He's having to grind everything. But you're never going to hear me put a dude like that down because the dude's out there doing it. He's doing it every day, and it's badass. Just like Eric Omedo, in Cameroon, I think that's where he's from. Dude's building, 150cc, 200cc choppers in a place that people don't ride choppers, and he's over there doing it on a dirt floor, shanty shed, and he's over there busting ass and making a name for himself. He has such a following in the States. I wish somehow, some way I could get him to America so he could actually see what's going on over here. I guarantee if he came here and went to one of our rallies and hung out with the group, some of the group of people that watch this show and even some that don't, if he could get here and see what everybody's doing, I guarantee you his game when he goes home and he starts building his next 150cc or 250cc chopper, I guarantee you it would be way out there wild from what he's doing today. What's up, Mr. Timothy Skates? The haters don't do anything but hater. No skills. EMF choppers and service trikes. Yeah, see, that's another thing. This dude's building service trikes also. Anyway, I could talk about that kind of creativity because it's that kind of creativity that I like. It doesn't have to be a $150,000 bagger, a $100,000 chopper. It doesn't have to be that to be cool. All that it has to be is someone make an effort for it. Someone make an effort to get out there and do this shit. But anyway, other than that, like I said, I've got these things I wanted to talk about, wanted to bring them up. My whole point to tonight's show is not going an hour, speaking the truth, get you a team, get you friends, get you some people behind you, get some people that believe in you, the person, get the team that's going to inspire you, not the team that's going to put you down because you didn't do it right, or because you don't know everything. Get the people behind you that are going to lift you up, not put you down. So with that being said, I think I have a pretty good team. I've got a better group of friends, though, I think. Next thing I want to talk about real quick, and it just popped on my mind, but I wanted to say something last week. Has anybody heard from Louie or PJ? Are they still building bikes? They still doing this? Because I haven't heard from them. I don't see any posts anymore. I don't see anything. I think I saw one post last week about the Louie Senior Memorial Ride up there that Louie does. But anyway, I haven't seen them, haven't heard from them. I don't know. Maybe they deleted me. I don't know. Maybe they don't like me anymore. I don't know. I don't really care. I was just curious. Is Lucky Seven still a thing? Are they still in Fort Worth building? I hope they are. I like Johnny. I think Johnny's a bad motherfucker all the way around. But I will say this. I like building my friends up. If I consider you a friend, that's a pretty cool thing. Louis had a death in the family. He did have the bike run as usual a couple of weeks ago. Cool. Sorry for his loss. But I haven't heard from him. I'm just curious. That's all. I was just curious. But anyway, you people need to get good people beside you, get good people behind you, get good people in front of you, people that want to lead you down the path that gets you to the next level or just get you to the next hump, get you over the next hump. we enjoy what we're doing, and we will be getting better and better all the time. And I will tell you this. I'm blinking because I think I got something in my eye. I want people to do good. I want people to do good. That's it. That's all there is to it. I also want to bring back the biker build offs. Is there anybody interested in doing a biker build off? I'm telling you, the 90-day biker build off, Joe versus Pro, Pro versus Pro, Joe versus Joe. I think I want to bring that shit back. I'm going to have 5 weeks of paid vacation next year. I might have time to do 1 or 2 next year if we can get serious builders in here that want to do it. Saw a guy this past week, and dude, I'll tell you, man, if you guys think the only people building bikes are the people that are on the covers of magazines or on social media with 250,000 followers, you're crazy. I met a guy this past week. Oh my God. I can't even tell you. He actually is building a chopper, and I guarantee if I stretch my arm side to side, I could almost touch both sides of the walls in the shop that he's building in. And the shop is only about 12 feet long, or I should say 12 foot deep. So maybe 8 foot wide, 12 foot deep. That's where he's building a fucking bike in. And the funny thing is he's been building bikes for years. And when I saw his bikes, I was like, you got to be shitting me. You built these bikes? He's like, yeah, I did them right here in my garage. Right here in my garage. Just one at a time. I usually do about one a year. And I was like, Jesus Christ, if I could get you out in the general public. He goes, I don't want to be in the public. I don't want that. I just want to do my one bike a year, enjoy what I'm doing. And that's it. And dude, people like that, you guys don't know how many builders there are out there that go to rallies, but yet they don't have big shop names. They're not doing it as a business. They're doing it because they truly love just building shit. And I'll tell you, this guy's right here in Friendswood, Texas. Friendswood, right down the street from me. And when I saw his working environment, I was like, wow, this is probably the tiniest shop I have ever seen. And it's crazy. It's about a 12-foot chopper he's building. Old school, retro style, really cool. But he's building in that tiny little building. There's just like enough room to walk around the bike, and that's it. So he has to be very aware of where he puts parts, how he sets them, so that they're right there at his fingertips. I'll tell you guys, man, I'm really, really digging on that stuff. Did you see that Billy Lane, Jesse James, and Paul Tuttle Sr. are putting together their own subscription TV called Outlaw Bikers coming late fall? Yes, I did. I've reached out to all 3 of them, believe it or not, to try to see if we couldn't get the grind landed on their TV channel. What in the red, white, and blue is going on in here? This is a Hell's Speed Shop Daredevil flannel, short sleeve flannel. I had to wear it, man. This shirt is so freaking awesome. It's not even funny. I'm retired now, and that's what I'm going to start doing. Just building bikes the way I like them. See, Ruger, you build what you want. Get you some people behind you. I don't even know where you live, but get some people behind you that are there to help you in your journey. Hell, I started in a bike trailer and a 10 by 10 glass shop. Now look at all the shop and bikes I have at Clusterfuck. Be careful what you ask for, because the good Lord just might give it to you. Amen, Keith Barker. Be very careful what you ask for, because I will tell you right now, he will give it to you, and you better be willing to do the work. Another thing, listen. Shut your mouths and listen. Listen. One thing I've learned, and it took me a long time to figure this out. But like I said, I'm fixing to be 54 this year. I'm fixing to be my first grandbaby. So I figured I'm moving into that second chapter in my life. One thing I have definitely learned in my life: keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut and let people talk to you. They will tell you everything you want to know. Everything you want to know. You just let them talk. They're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you listen, you just might learn something, whether you learn to fuck with them or you learn not to fuck with them. You're going to learn something. And yes, Keith Parker, I am old as fuck, but I look good. Hell Speed Shop, American Drag Seats hat. I look good, or at least my clothing looks good. Kevin Baird, where is the next biker build off? Pros versus Joes. So here's the deal, Kev. I've got to get the builders first, and I'm going to do it totally different this time. I'm going to discuss everything with the builders first. I'm going to make sure I'm going to more of an interview the builders, because I'll tell you what, just because you throw some shit together like this and you think, man, the builders are going to fucking do a job and they're going to be badass. No, they're not. No, you're not going to get what you want out of every builder. And I have said this from day one. When I was in the very first biker build off, I videoed everything. You got to see the ups, you got to see the downs, you got to see the welding, you got to see the fabrication, you got to see me learning. I'd never done wiring before. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I had good people behind me that were like, "No, dummy, don't do that. Do it like this. Not do it like this. Not do it." People that were there behind me to help me figure it out. And you know what? That bike still runs amazing. The one thing that was wrong with that bike, and I'm not even afraid to say it, the one thing that was wrong with my bike was the fuel filter. Had I put the fuel filter on it that's on it today, I would have been riding that bike successfully from the day I started it up with no issues, not a single issue. I also learned, don't make your motor mount so freaking big and put your coil pack and everything in it, because it breaks. It's too much weight with the vibration. So I had to change that up, and I'm changing it. Just understand, I'm making it better. Just understand that. But you learn, man. You know, you learn when you fabricate, you learn when you build, you learn when you paint, you learn when you do upholstery. That's why I was giving Keith and Mary Beth Barker such a pat on the back a little while ago, is because they're taking the time. They're getting involved in the paint jobs. I don't want to get involved in paint jobs because I feel like you have to be a chemist to a degree to know how to mix things. And it's not like you can just say, oh, I'll just put this much of that in there, put this much of that in there, and it's going to stick perfectly. I mean, that's not really how it works. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. But I will say this: if you are interested in being in a biker build off, all you got to do is text me. And believe you me, if you can't get my number from everybody watching this, because every single person that's watching right now, except for C. Ruger and Nancy Weems and Mary Beth, I think those are the only three people watching tonight that don't have my personal cell phone number. Everybody else on here has already got my cell phone number. All you got to do is shoot me a text, tell me you're interested, and we can put some shit together. Galveston is this year in Galveston. We can do one there. You know, it's not a big deal. You get 90 days to build a bike. Hell, I might even change it up and just do one a year or two a year and give you 6 months to build a bike. But I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time, because I learned a lot of lessons by doing this damn show from scratch that I would have never known. I've learned things from people. Like I said, let people talk long enough and they're going to tell you everything you want to know about them. But I will say this, and I'm saying it because I like this shirt. This shirt is really badass. The lighting in here is totally wrong, but this shirt, red, white, blue, yellow, it's badass. And let me show you all this too, because a lot of people don't know this part of it. So when you go to hellspeedshop.com and you buy these shirts, if you look in the back, you'll see the tag. Well, check this out. I told y'all it comes with these stickers. They're collector's items. That's the tag that's sewn into the back of the shirt. But you've also got a sticker, and it's hung with this cord so you can actually save them, or you can peel them apart and stick them on something. But I think it's so freaking cool that you get these die cut stickers that go with the shirts. And I have a whole stack of them over there. And I will probably never stick them on anything. I'll probably just leave them hanging like that. But I'll tell you what, they're cool as shit. But anyway, I could sit here and ramble, which is where the part that I'm at is the part that's rambling. My numbers are dropping. So what I'm going to do is let you guys go, and I'm going to leave you all with this. If you can't support somebody and you can't be on their team, it's very easy. Just don't fuck with them. If the only reason you're hanging around people is because you want something from them, that makes you a bad friend. If anybody on this show watching tonight, from Keith Barker, Kevin Baird, Nancy Weem, Marsha Fitzpatrick, C. Ruger, if anybody watching this show tonight called me and said, hey, Kevin, I watched the show last night. I wanted to call you and see if you could help me out with this. I'm going to take that message. I'm going to take that phone call. I'm not going to make fun of them. I'm not going to pick on them. I'm going to give them information if I have it. If I don't have that information, I'm going to be like, you know what? I don't have that information, but this guy does. If you can't be that kind of friend to somebody, are you really their friend? I'm just saying. Are you really their friend? Or are you just a hater that's learning because you're learning from them? But anyway, you guys take that with y'all. Share the videos. Go have a great 4th of July weekend, and we'll see you all back here next Thursday night. Same bat channel, same bat time.